Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. And in this video, I'm going to talk about why most people who are broke are actually selfish, right? I don't know if you've ever heard of that statement or concept, but this has also been my experience too, that most people are broke because they are selfish. And this has been said by, financial gurus, very famous financial gurus like Robert Kiyosaki, where he says, "Hey, the poor are selfish and greedy." Grant Cardone, "Poor people are selfish," and I do agree with those statements. In fact, I asked ChatGPT for explanation about why does Robert Kiyosaki say poor people are selfish, and he says Robert Kiyosaki says this because of a lack of financial education, and people remain poor because they do not invest in their financial education. Number two is a scarcity mindset. Number three, feel fear of failure, right? So the fear of wanting to avoid failures could be seen as selfish. Number four, short-term thinking, prioritizing immediate gratification over long-term wealth-building strategies. Number five, blaming others, right? So you blame other people's like current government or poor or other people instead of taking responsibility and finding ways to improve their situation and avoiding personal responsibility, right? Now, I know that the average college student doesn't think like this because, they see nobility with being broke or being poor. And a lot of times, nine times out of 10, there's always this selfishness mentality, especially if you live in the United States, that comes with being broke, right? And I don't know if you ever heard this statement where most people would rather steal a dollar from you than make $1 million with you. Definitely more true with poor people versus rich people. In fact, I'm going to give you a quick summary of my own experiences with dealing with poor people versus rich. And again, if you're poor right now, right? If you are poor right now and you have the utmost intentions to become rich, think of yourself as that intellectual genius in a bad school, right? So even though you may be headed for Harvard, there's a reason why the school that you attend is labeled as a bad school, because not every you're the outlier and not everyone else is like you. But we have to understand general trends and patterns and understand, like, hey, if I'm broke right now, and I say this as a former broke person, why you would be different from most of the other broke people. And again, according to financial gurus, and it's been my experience too, most people are broke because they are selfish, right? And it also has to deal with how we think about money. Now, let me just tell you my own experiences about dealing with poor people versus rich people. Rich people are far more appreciative of what I have to offer than poor people, right? And it's been my experience that if I say, hey, it's this is how much it costs, rich people will give me money and say, oh my goodness, thank you, thank you, thank you, because they have all the money in the world, so they understand the marketplace. Same with my tenant too, right? Whereas poor people have very little experience with the marketplace. So, and the other thing too is that they don't, let me say this, they value money more they value work being done and taking care of other people. Okay, whereas me, as I don't want to say if I'm rich or not, but as someone who's kind of that's my goal to become rich, I don't value money, right? I value work being done and taking care of other people. So that's why, if I hire somebody, I'm looking for any excuse for them to pay them, as long as they get the work done. I'm looking for an excuse to pay them as quickly as possible. And so think about the mindset of a poor or broke landlord. If you look on Reddit, and I've seen this on Reddit before, property managers are complaining like, "Oh, the reasons why properties don't get maintained is because we need the owner's permissions, and the owners are cheap and they don't want to spend money." Right? Is that crazy? But again, that's the mindset of a selfish landlord. Whereas, like, if I'm a rich landlord and there's a maintenance issue, spend $10 so that you don't have to spend $1,000 to fix an issue that could have been easily uh, maintain or I'm sorry, easily fixed with the maintenance person. You know what I'm saying? But most broke people can't think like that because they're selfish and they value money more than they value people, right? If you want to be rich, don't value money. In fact, most rich people, right? They've because they have a ton of money, they need work to be done, and they're willing to give you money for that work to be done, right? They don't value money that much because they have a ton of it, if that makes sense, right? But as a quote, non-poor person myself, I definitely value work being done and taking care of other people more than I value money. And the ironic thing is, once you think like that, more money is going to be in your pocket. Okay, I don't know if you want to call it karma marketing, but one of the reasons I'm not broke is because I'm willing to help other people and take care of other people, and most people are not because they just want to hold on to money, which is pretty worthless, right? All right. Well, this is Korean Atlanta mentorship. So hopefully whatever I made sense, but it's like 11:38 p.m. But just cranking out another video. Might crank out another velocity banking video before I go to sleep. All right. Have a great night, and we'll speak next time.